Hello everyone, today we are trying to answer some of the questions from the IELTS exam. I've written the questions down. There's 5 of them and they all come from the part 1 of the speaking part of the exam, and since it's part 1 it shouldn't be too hard to answer them, shouldn't be too challenging. Let's see what we can do. So the first question, as you may see, is do you work full-time or do you work part-time? This one is pretty challenging for me though, because as a teacher I'm sort of self-employed. I can say I work full-time or part-time. My workload differs every season. Like in summer I have almost no work, I have no classes, because who the hell is going to study English in summer? But in winter my workload sometimes may be really crazy, really heavy, and this at times this can be pretty stressful actually. So if I have to choose between full-time and part-time, I would say that I'm closer to part-time. Oh no, I think I'm closer to full-time, I guess. Yeah, so yeah, some people might say that as a teacher I don't have as many work hours as an employee in the office, and this will be true. An average person from a big company works like 50 or 60 hours a week, sometimes 70. I have friends who do that, and my workload is significantly less in terms of hours, if we count the hours. But I think that 1 hour of teaching, well, it's not equal to 1 hour of sitting in the office. Well, because when you're teaching, your work is really intense. You've got to be focused for 2 hours for the whole class. You've got to really think fast, think on your feet, I would say. And when you're in the office, you are a bit more relaxed. You don't have crazy you don't have to have crazy focus. You don't have to, you know, be concentrated all the time. It's not so intense. You just sit in front of your computer, doing your job in a very calm and relaxed way. At least this is how I imagine working in the office. So I've got to answer the questions, and I would say that I'm closer to full-time rather than part-time. So the second question is, as you may see here, is what do you do for a living? What do I do for a living? Well, basically they're asking what my job is. Probably you've heard that I'm a teacher. There is nothing more I can tell you about it. This job is not so easy or hard. This is completely all right as any other job. The only thing I can say that if you want to be a good and a competent teacher, it requires a very broad set of skills. You've got to know how to do almost anything. You've got to know your subject, which is English language. You've got to, I believe, know a lot about linguistics, about how the language is built, how what parts the language consists of, and all that kind of stuff. You should be really good about knowing grammar rules, but also you should be good at teaching, at public speaking. You should be a little bit of a psychologist, just to motivate your students, to keep them interested. Other than that, you've got to have pretty good practical skills. I mean, you've got to speak really well, you've got to have a really good pronunciation and all that kind of thing, because even if you're a good specialist, your skills still remain your business card. So this is all about your self-presentation. Well, when you have earned certain reputation in teaching community, when you have earned a lot of reputation, you probably can go a little bit easy on your speaking skills. You probably can let yourself lose some of the skills, not practice daily. It's not the best idea, but still it's possible, because people will still keep coming to you since your authority is really great in this field. But I'm far from that position, so I'm supposed to keep my skills sharp. So let's move on to the next question. What is it? Let's see. What do you enjoy about your work? Well, That's a hard one. I think the only thing you can enjoy as a teacher is basically, there's only one thing you can enjoy. It's the results of your students. At least from my point of view. So that's the only thing you can enjoy. Well, if you see no results, that's depressing. That can really burn you out. You know, burnout is the state of mind when you don't want to keep on doing your work. So seeing no results can really burn you out. Yeah, as a teacher, you should be focused on the results of your students. At least that's what I do. Well, yeah, I think this is true in any other area. If you are serious about something, if you are invested into something, if you put a lot of effort into something and you see no results, that's depressing. So I think it's not only true about teaching. Okay, so what do I enjoy most about my work? It's the results of the students. That's the only thing I work for. So let's look at the question 4. At question 4, what are the main duties in your job? What are the main duties? It's basically the question about what activities do you do as a teacher. So the main thing you do as a teacher is you teach classes. I know it sounds obvious, but that's the only thing you do. You teach classes. But as I've already said, you've got to have a really broad set of skills. So you teach classes, you are supposed to study a lot to broaden your knowledge every time, because this is how you stay competent and this is how you stay competitive. You've got to study a lot, and this is what I try to do. I don't necessarily always keep it up. Sometimes I struggle to study every day, but as a teacher you have a lot to study. A lot, trust me, much more than you teach. Okay, so by the way, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a lawyer. A fun fact, yeah, I wanted to be a lawyer. I still think I have pretty good skills for being a lawyer, like public speaking, but being a lawyer is not as rewarding as being a teacher. Yeah, so as a teacher your job is simple, but you've got to do a lot of preparation to do it right. Okay, number 5. Number 5 is, I hope you can see it, is there anything you would like to change? Is there anything you would like to change about your job? Well, I can't complain. Teaching is a really good job. Well, not for everyone, obviously, but I wouldn't change anything about my job. Well, for example, if someone gave me like $1 million or $1 billion, I would certainly change something. I would probably move to New York or to the United States just to borrow some, just to improve my speaking skills, just to get some more experience, just to have a chance to analyze the speech of native speakers, to see the way they express their thoughts, to see how they speak, to see how they use grammar in daily situations, because some of the things are really hard to grasp just through watching serious TV shows or reading textbooks. Some of the things you have to, I believe you have to feel, and some of the things can be only taken from the native speakers. So other than that, I wouldn't change anything. Oh, there is one more thing. I would probably, if I had $1 billion, I would still be teaching, but I would hire a lot of different experts in linguistics and teaching, and I would tell them to teach me how to teach students well. So I would try to borrow their experience. I would pay them to share their experience, years of experience with me. That's what I would do. But other than that, I would still be teaching classes because that's what I do. So that's it, I believe. We're out of questions. Thank you for watching. I hope you will find it useful, and see you next time.